Welcome back. Get ready to turn on dark mode. We're here to talk working in IT, video games, tech, and everything outside the 9 to 5. I'm one of your hosts, Taylor Floyd Muse.
And I'm Keegan Lassard.
Yeah,
How you doing?
I'm
Yeah,
not great.
you're not doing good.
I mean,
Not having a good week.
I'm okay, but
You're okay.
technology is not, dude. I'm at my wit's end with it lately.
What we base our careers around, you're not liking right now.
And our podcast and a lot of other things.
Yeah, just a little bit, yeah.
It's such a love-hate relationship with it though, because like some days it's like, oh, this is really great, like it's really helping me, and then other days when it's not working, it is not working. Like,
Well, it doesn't work for like everything. It's never just like one thing. It's all your applications have some sort of problem.
well, I mean, like it started at work. Like me being in QA, like, you know, I found a bug, but it was in prod, and like that's not good. So then like worked late for that to fix that with the dev and like test the hot fix, but then it also led into finding additional problems that we previously didn't know about. So it was like you just kept on rolling and like all of a sudden it's just like everything's everywhere. And
yeah,
that took up most of today. And then after signing off last night, I just tried to like get our ad set up for our giveaway. We'll talk about that later. But I like was following all of Facebook's like little hoops you got to jump through, and there's no like clear instructions on how to set up an ad campaign. I'm just sort of figuring it out. But then like I got to the last step, and it was telling me that I needed to post my Instagram post to Facebook before I could make the ad. And then I did that, and it was still like, yo, you need to post to Facebook before you post the ad. And I was just like, nah. And I just closed the laptop and I was done.
Yeah. I mean, working in QA, you definitely navigate through applications differently because you test your own applications so much, but it is super frustrating when you find like a critical bug or something like right when you should be getting off of work. And you got to make that moral question like, do I bring it up or do I just kind of wait till 8 a.m. tomorrow? And it's like, nah, if it's a prod defect.
Well, here's the problem. I didn't know it was a prod defect. I found it while testing another release like candidate. And then like we were like, oh, it's unrelated. Oh, it's in prod. Now it's 4:00. Now we're like, oh, there's more to the problem. And now it's like 7 p.m. and we're finally like, all right, we're going to call it a day and pick it up tomorrow. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, this is not good, but we got it squared away.
It sucks when you're QA and you can't do anything like drastic with the code. So you're just kind of there for moral support as they like talk through it. So like it sucks when you're on the call to like 7, you're like, yeah, it's definitely a bug. You how's the fix going over there? And they're like, still working on it. You're like, okay. Like you want to be like, can I leave? And you just text me if you need me. But
yeah, like that's the thing. Like I'm not supposed to help them with the coding. Like this dev needed some help answering some questions like of like what were to happen in this scenario. But like I'm also a newer QA engineer. So like I don't have those answers. So I'm like roping in another buddy, a QA engineer, hoping that he knows it. I'm like, I mean, I'm sorry, man. Like, I don't mean to involve you, but like, I don't know these answers right now. So it's helpful that I'm now getting them for later, but I don't know. So it was an interesting spot to be in. But yeah, like the dev hit me up and he was like, can you be my rubber duck? And it was funny because I told this to you and you didn't get it right away. And like, I'm not going to roast you for that, but like, I thought you might know because in IT, people like, I mean, I'm sure they do it in other places too, but like the phenomenon of when you're trying to explain yourself to someone to like get their advice on it, but then you end up answering your own question by explaining it or like figuring out what you need. Like people have figured out you could just like explain yourself to like an inanimate object, like a rubber duck, for example, because it's like desk swag. You could just easily put it on the desk. And they like some people go like, hey, can you be my rubber duck? So he asked me because his normal dev, it wasn't online. And then like I was like, yeah, sure, like whatever. And then I was learning some stuff about like what we were working on that I didn't previously know. But then the call went on for like an hour and then longer. And then like we were unraveling stuff, and that's when I was just like, dude, this did not turn out the way I wanted it to.
You're like, bro, I gotta eat.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
it's 7.
at that point, like it was still only like 5:30, but I usually sign on early, so like was just a little unfortunate. But then like I was planning on recording our podcast yesterday, and then I was just like, all right, it's not looking good. I also had to eat dinner, but like I was kind of just like doing other tasks and just having it open, but I was also
Yeah.
just kind of like, well, this sucks, like
Yeah,
I
just
gotta
in a
push
bad
everything
mood.
away. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It worked out. We got it squared away. But the fact that Facebook ads weren't working just like
The
was the
cherry on
icing on the
top.
cake. And then
Yeah.
today setting up some changes on our stream. Just nothing wants to work, man. So
Yeah. I mean, that's adult life. You got one hurdle after the other, and like now I have to deal with like house problems, and apparently
house problems.
apparently my basement was just flooded, so that's cool. Never had to deal with that problem
That is
before.
such an adult problem when someone's like, yeah, my basement flooded. Like, who even are you?
Yeah, it was like 3 inches of water, so I had to clear that out. So that was a fun little adult task to hurdle. It also sucks when you're like working remote and you still have like other errands you're doing around the house while you're working from home. So like you gotta still do the dishes and laundry. It's like I just want to go back to the office and ignore those problems.
Yeah, well, I got like an update that most likely we will be remote for the rest of the year. Like
Really?
not like the office is closed permanently, but like the office will be optional and like company meetings will be held remotely. So like if you feel like yo, I'm tired of working from home, I need to go to the office, like you have that option. But for the most part, I would imagine because people have to take the public transport to get downtown Chicago, like that's not going to feel very comfortable until like a vaccine's created for this whole epidemic.
Yeah, I mean, so it's kind of like what I was suggesting a couple weeks ago with like, more companies probably going to be options for permanent work from homes or remote.
Yeah.
Because right now it's like we're forced to prove that people can be efficient while working remotely. They have no
Yeah,
other choice.
exactly. And like I don't imagine that like our company goes full remote like permanently. Like I feel like once we do kind of get back to a some sort of new normal, like they'll be like, all right, like it's no longer optional, but like we had that whole work from home Wednesday, so that kind of like balances it. But um I do like how flexible they're being with like nobody's forced to come in. Like, yo, you
Right.
got to get it done at the expense of your own health. Like we don't want none of that. So
Yeah.
I kind of feel bad for all these people that have been graduating this past week though.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of Instagram posts and like other like sentimentals of like people in their caps and gowns and stuff. And even driving around, like people are taking pictures. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot that's like this weekend and this time of year. So
Yeah, I was feeling bad for people with prom. That was like a month ago, and then like now I'm getting like memories of like when I graduated college. I'm like, that sucks that like some people aren't experiencing that. High school, whatever, you'll get over it. But college, not graduating, that really sucks because like that's an expensive graduation you're missing.
yeah,
You've put in a lot of effort to get to that graduation.
I will say though, they are not missing out on that excruciatingly long I can't even speak.
Gradmo,
Graduamony?
Gradmo,
Graduamony ceremony.
throw that degree out.
The graduation ceremony. But I can't really talk because I, being in track and field, we had a cross or a track meet on the normal graduation ceremony day.
Oh,
So
that's
we got
right.
a nice shortened version for all the athletes that weren't going to be there. So it was like max 1 hour. And it was funny though because like the what's the president of the
Yeah.
university, yeah, he like couldn't say, but like by the power vested in me, he's like, I mean, I can say it but it's not true. He's like but you graduated. So it was also funny because I had to take exams after that, so there
Yeah.
it was like, all right, you better pass. But anyway,
Yeah. Right.
I went to the graduation ceremony for my girlfriend, like, and she had to go to they didn't do it the following year for the athletes. They made them do it.
Oh.
So like it was like 3 hours long and like not great. So
Well, dude, when I graduated, our school, so for like the computer science school, wasn't like in the front by any means,
mhm,
because they do it by schools, like the business school, the communication school, engineering school,
yeah.
and I remember we were like second to last. I'm like, oh, that's gonna be so rough. Like, luckily they didn't do it by alphabetical order because me being L, I'm like usually right in the middle of the pack. So
Yeah.
I made sure to kind of skim my way to where the line is. So I was the very front 2 rows for our school, but it didn't even matter because the power went out at this like the stadium wherever we were at. The
Wait,
power went out.
really?
So yeah, the videos went out, the microphones went out. There was also a proposal like right in front of me. Somebody did during the power outage. So like they were trying to sort their own PA system stuff
Now's
out.
my chance.
Dude, that dude bounced on it. He was like not messing around. He saw that opportunity, came down from the stands, was like, "Yo, I'm proposing now."
Oh, he wasn't in the ceremony. He came down from the
No,
stands.
that dude was like ready to propose, and
Maybe
he
he
took.
caused the power outage.
I didn't even think about that. But like we were all just like, "Woo!" We're all cheering, and then like after a while, I was like, "Okay, like let's get the show on the road," because we haven't even got to like them announcing the names. I think they were still doing like the masters program part.
Oh, okay.
It was rough. And I was kind of disappointed because, like, before graduation, I was trying to convince the school to let me, because I was the mascot for our college. And I
Is
was
that
like,
is that public information?
what are they going to do?
No, I mean like is it have you told that to people now that you're gone?
I mean, like, sometimes, not like post on like Twitter
Cuz
saying,
like
hey,
when I met you, you made it sound like it was some sort of top secret thing and he's like, "Yo, like don't tell nobody, but I'm the mascot." I'm like, "Why are you telling me then?" And then we got really close and then he just started spilling that to like all of our group of friends cuz like you would always be
it was
lugging
fun.
around like a giant sack like and
Yeah,
we're
it
like,
was
"What
so
is
obvious.
that?" And he's like, "Don't tell anybody, but I'm the mascot."
I used to just like mess with people around campus, like wear it because I had the key to the cage.
Yeah.
So just go around campus, go to like the gym and run on the treadmill with it. Anyways, I was trying to convince him. I saw online that like sometimes where people were the mascots, like they would be able to wear just like the legs, like as their like form of resignation, like they're like
Like that's the
it's been
reveal
it's
who it
been a fun
was.
4 years, you
Yeah.
know. And I tried just selling that, and they're like, no, they were just like not about it. And my dad suggested to me, he's like, you know what you should do when they like read, because you would just hand them what to read for your name, and they're like, you should just write down the like mascot's name, Lassard, and like hand it off to them, so when they announce it, that's what they announce. And I would walk up, and I was like, yeah, but like 4 years in the making of me getting the graduation for someone to say Keegan Lassard, your diploma. So I was like, nah. I was really disappointed though, because like it would have been pretty epic, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Graduations to me, I never really liked them. I didn't like having graduation parties or anything. I wish I could have just gotten it mailed to me, which I could have, but
I
you
guess
know.
like I'm in your boat, but like in actuality, like I didn't do anything special. Like I just was like, all right, like I got to start doing things. Like I don't have much time to celebrate, and also because like we did that ceremony early, like I still had exams and a track meet to run, so it was kind of like I don't feel like I graduated, but like all right, cool, like I wore the cap and gown and walked across a stage, but I don't know.
Yeah, I had like a minor thing. I had like we went to an Irish pub I liked at that, like that area, and we like had a tab and just kind of just drinks and like hang out with some close family friends and stuff. But like other than that, I didn't really want anything. And even in high school, I didn't even have a graduation party. I just was like, I'm just gonna go to all my friends' graduation parties I got invited to, because there's always like a
A
billion of them.
ton at the same time, and everybody hops around.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I don't know. I've been thinking about it because I saw it in my memories, and like I'm like, what advice would I give that kid that many years ago, like going into adulthood, just clueless?
What would you tell yourself?
I don't know, like a part of me is like, yo, just like go live at home for like a while. Like just go like a couple months, just relax, cause you're about to be an adult like 24/7 after that. You know what I mean? Like, don't put so much pressure on yourself. Just like boom, adulthood. Just like take a month. Go to England or something. You know what I mean? Like if
England
you could do it,
specifically.
if you could swing it, just like go travel the world or some shit.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with like take some time to like enjoy yourself, but like I was not trying to go back home because like I have a pretty rowdy family, and also like as soon as I left for college, my brother took my room, so I don't have
Uh,
my own room, and like I would just like automatically like when that happened, I felt like whenever I would come home, like I'm just visiting, like I am the guest. So it's not like I still had a room to go back to. So I was just like, I want my own place. Like I'm trying to move out of this garbage house that we lived in college, and then just like move straight forward. It just kind of sucked that like in order to afford that, like you had to start working right away. But
yeah.
I guess like if I would have told myself like anything, it's just that like don't don't put so much pressure on yourself to do everything so perfectly because like literally everybody's winging it.
Yeah, that's literally adulthood is winging it, making mistakes, and fixing those mistakes.
Yeah.
And then like I don't know, like a part of me, and this is not expert advice, obviously, but like obviously I had different plans coming out of gate college of moving to like Kansas City and stuff, but I don't know if I could like give advice or like give a commencement speech. I would just like cut all the bullshit of like work hard. You got through the 4 year, like the typical commencement speeches they always give,
Hmm.
and just be like, if you guys can afford it, your student loans are waiting for you when you get back. Just go on a road trip. Get your buddies that you're in college with right now. Get them in a car. I mean, you're probably already interviewing for jobs. Those jobs are waiting for you when you get back. Tell them you need 2 weeks before your starting date, and just get in a car and go. Like that's what I would want in a commencement speaker. It's just like, hey, congrats, reward yourself, and then come back and do your adult shit.
Yeah, personally, I'd just get rid of the commencement speech. Nothing you're going to tell me at that point in time I'm going to want to listen to or is I'm going to remember. Like just email me. Honestly, like the commencement
Email
speech
me.
they're so long-winded, and I just feel like nobody's paying attention. And the funniest part is when I went to my girlfriend's commencement speech, cuz like ours for the little short sports one was like next to non-existent. Like somebody gave like a really short one, and again, I don't remember what they said. But some woman came up during my girlfriend's and was like, she started off with some like really wordy, like long-winded sounding thing, and then she just was like, "Nah, I'm just kidding. Like you guys did it, have fun," and just left the stage. And I was like, "Yo, that was great." Like I don't know. I feel like they need to be a little bit more lighthearted, if anything, because like they're always so
I
like they're trying to be motivational, but they're really just like boring everyone.
I mean, there's good and bads to them, but like, I think ultimately you should just. There's nothing you really need to say other than like, good job. You put in the hard work. Now here's a life tip that I want to give you, and then that's it. Because that's all it
Like
is,
10
really.
minutes maximum, dude.
That's all it is that person, either the president or somebody that's important to the university, giving their life tips to a audience of students.
Yeah.
And if you do any other fluff, like, I mean, if you're quoting what dictionary definition means of something, just stop
Get that out of
and
here.
you get that out of here. I don't know. It's such a formality. There's so many formalities of graduation that, like, right now, looking back, I wish I can get rid of. But at the same time, it's part of the whole thing. Like, you worked all that time to get to that moment. So, I mean, some people probably really liked it and enjoyed it. But me, I was just like, oh, that diploma, I can adult life, don't have to take a test ever again.
Yeah, I was
Cruising.
so ready to stop schoolwork. I was just like,
Yeah.
I'm tired of worrying about grades because they're literally not going to matter after I get my first job.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm so glad I don't have to worry. Like all I have to worry about is just like doing the work well, and then it's just like if it works, hey, we did it. Like that's all you need. Like I don't have to be like oh, I'm gonna get like only a B on this one, like, and then like worry about GPA. Like, I'm so glad that's over.
I kind of want like a commencement speaker that's like, yeah, your GPA is great and all, but like if that's what's defining your reason to get hired somewhere, that's not it, chief. Like,
Well, to be fair though, there are some lines of work, career paths that do look at that, especially like medical things.
yeah,
They're picking from like the cream of the crop, like everybody gets a 4.0 kind of deal. So it's like you do have to stand out. But like I feel like in IT, it's just like, I mean, show me
for
your skills.
business, yeah,
Like I could give a shit about your like 3.6 or whatever you got. 3 point, like there was a guy that was in our track and field conference, and they always gave out an award for like the most stellar athletic and academic athlete. So like they had like a 4.0 or like the highest GPA, and they also did the most like they had the most wins or like whatever. I don't even know what the criteria was. I never won it. I didn't care. Anyway, this one guy,
I don't even know what it's for.
he consistently got uh the award, but he was also in computer science, but he was nailing 4.0s like every semester. And me over here, who was kind of struggling at first, was like, dang dude, like, all right, get you some. But then like I remember like the next year he got the same award, but when they announced his GPA, it was like with a 3.9 GPA. I'm like, who gave him that B though? He's got to be pissed. But like I'm kind of glad I never like stressed that hard about that, because like it doesn't really matter anymore.
Yeah, I never really worried about my GPA, and like that might be just carried over from high school where I just didn't think about it. It never was like an issue, but like yeah, it graduation was definitely a sigh of relief to just be like, all right, I can stop worrying about schoolwork, because I was still working at the time in college, so like I still had both worries
Yeah,
in my
you were a
hands.
little bit stressed.
Well, that and I was doing all kinds of extracurriculars, so it was a wild time. So
Do you
graduation was fun.
look back and are like happy you did all of that at the same time, or
Hundred
do you?
percent.
Okay, I because some people are like, dang, like I was like too busy and like maybe didn't like slow down and like just enjoy. But like to be fair, I know you like we did enjoy our time, but like you always like had something else to do. Like you're like, all right, I gotta code this, and then like, all right, I gotta rush off to do like this other like what it was like music stuff that you did, and then it was like this other one
Yeah,
like
through concerts.
yeah, and then like now I gotta go to work, and it's like, all right, like dude, see it when I see it.
I mean, I've thought about that, but like, I don't know. Even my mistakes still made college fun. Like, for instance, another life tip, non expert, expert advice: never sign another lease until your other sublease has been signed. um,
You got to give him a little bit of a backstory on that one, because like that one was like one of the biggest L's.
I was in an apartment with two of my good friends still to this day. And at the time, one of my roommates' girlfriends at the time was thinking about subleasing because her lease was ending. And just coincidentally, our good friend was like, yo, you should live with Taylor and the Track Boys, and you could sublease my place because I'm out of here. And I'm like, well, that lines up pretty nice.
Yeah.
And he's like, I need you to sign it now. And I had the text message from the other girl, that one of my roommate's girlfriends, and like I was like, all right, I gave her the stuff, but she didn't sign it yet, and I went and signed the other lease.
Oh
Week
boy.
later, I was like, hey, haven't heard if you guys mailed that in yet. Didn't sign the lease. And I was like, oh no. Got stuck with both. And I mean, she helped me out. She kind of reimbursed for like a month's rent or whatever to like help, but it was still like I had to manage two rents at the same time. So a huge life lesson there, guys. Don't sign a new sublease unless you have yours leased out as well.
We should give a disclaimer though that like where we were living, the rent wasn't like high. Like it wasn't like we were going to school in like, I don't know, like New York City. So we're like, oh my god, 2 rents is like a ton. But it was like two rents at that time is still less than what we're paying now. But in
Yeah.
college, that's like woof.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, good thing I work at Caterpillar and my parents are kind of helping. So so working during college, I don't regret because I was able to live with you guys and not have to, be screwed. But
Not have to be screwed.
all the extracurriculars just made my college experience more fun, and I have more to talk about in interviews, right? So where like I may not have the best GPA in the world, I have the social part being like, the reason I don't is because I was working. I was president of this club that threw shows and house shows. I was managing, literally contracts with artists and stuff like that. I was the mascot, which is always a great topic to bring up in an interview because I always want to talk about that and it's funny. All these different things. So like, I would never change that. I guess the only thing is I would just give myself my life lesson and be like, yo, you want a more enjoyable senior year? Don't sign that lease until this person signed that lease. Don't be an
Yeah,
idiot.
but like if you hadn't signed the lease to live with us, you would still have been in the old place, and like you might have been less stressed, but I don't know if you would have had as much fun.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, I wouldn't change what our stew boy experience the second floor of 801,
I mean,
but
we lived in a duplex that was like uh I don't know, the top floor wasn't really on its own like a normal livable place. Like
no.
it was really small, but like they basically just made it one whole house. And me and Keegan lived on that top floor, and us being like gamers and procrastinators, we'd be up late gaming and stuff, but like all the other boys would be asleep. So like sometimes they would just like hear us just like yelling across the house to each other. Cause like we were only like our rooms was just across a little tiny hallway, but like it was usually quiet enough or like padded enough where they couldn't hear us below the floor. But like if we were yelling real loud, like they could hear it. But I don't know. It was some good times playing League at like 2 a.m. and stuff.
Watching Breaking Bad till like 5:30 in the morning.
That one, I don't have an explanation for that one. Like I I think like you had just gotten to like season 3 or season 4, and I was like, all right,
Yeah.
things are starting to pick up. Like these are really good episodes, and I was like looking for one episode in particular, and I kept thinking like, oh, it's the next one. That's it. And then like we'd watch that one, and I'm like, oh no, it's the next one. All right, yeah, like just toss it on. And the next thing I know, it's like 5 a.m. I'm like, all right, well, good night.
I I have work at 8:30. I have 3 classes, work again, come home, and then I have like a bunch of other extracurricular stuff. I was like, I'm screwed.
Yeah, I
Yet
mean,
I was able to function. I couldn't do that now.
yeah, I mean, I had class, or no, I had practice at 7, but there was also another practice at 3. So I was like, all right, looks like I'm going to afternoon practice, but that overlapped with the class. So it's like, looks like, I mean, I can't miss practice because like I don't know, like coach would get upset. So I'm like, she won't really miss if I'm not at that one part of class. So then, I had to, we didn't do that very often, but like I wasn't about to go run 10 miles after 2 hours of sleep. So
I don't know how you track boys did that, like especially like the Sunday ones or whatever, where it's like 16 miles or something stupid like that. I would just kind of laugh at it, be like, have fun with that. I'll be chilling here playing video games. Typical Sunday morning things.
well, like you would still be in bed sometimes by the time we came back. Cause like our practices were at like 7 a.m. and then like I'd come back and it would be like 9:30. And that's like a normal time to wake up on a Sunday. So I don't know.
Gross.
Crazy stuff. But on a side note, I hope you guys have been entering our giveaway because we got
Yeah.
free games to give away right there. Hit up darkmodepodcast.com. We got it looking pretty nice now. There's a couple of weirdness with web development, which another piece of technology that doesn't really work for me. I just like it ain't I'm not a dev. I'm a QA engineer that can code a little bit.
I coded the web, but the mobile looked like trash. So we coded it to mobile. Mobile looks good, and the web's like not trash, but it's like
It's not great.
it's not great.
We'll figure it out someday, but it's workable. And at the bottom, you'll find a giveaway little modal where you can enter in just your email and your name, and then follow a couple instructions. And the more instructions you follow, like liking a post, leaving a comment on one of our videos, following our accounts, it gets you more entries to get a game, higher chances. And I don't know. I mean, the games are pretty fun. You like Frostpunk, even though it's frustrating. Hitman.
Frostpunk is, yeah. Good luck. Go ahead.
I mean, for free, you might as well.
Yeah, might
And
as well
then
try it out.
Hitman, you had a lot of fun with the first one. The second one was pretty good too. And then Grease, which got nominated for like a lot of Game of the Year for indie game stuff. So good things to hit up there.
Yeah. All right. So we talked about college. That's great. And that had some good memories and everything. But can we please get to the actually good part of the episode right now, which is
What
Snyder
is it?
Cut's actually happening, guys. We did it. We did it. Victory to all the DC nerds out there. Snyder Cut is coming June. Let's go.
Congrats, dude.
I'm so excited.
It means nothing to me, but congrats. Like, to be fair though, you sent me the I think it was a Instagram post that was like Snyder Cut, and like for a second I was just like, that sounds familiar, but what is that again? But then I saw the Justice League thing and I was like, oh, like they're actually gonna release that. Like I remember people were like begging for it and they didn't, or was it Warner Bros that didn't want to release it or something?
Yeah, it's like it's been 2 years of like a Twitter campaign to release the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League. And every single cast member of Justice League has like tweeted out support. Zack Snyder's tweeted out support, and then Warner Brothers has just been like, nah. Not happening. And we just found out actually today on May 20th, HBO Max is going to have the Zack Snyder full cut. So excited.
What's HBO Max though?
It's their new subscription base, and it's dumb because now they have Max Now Go. And it's like, pick one and stick with a platform. I don't really know what it means. All I know is it means it has the director's cut, it has Friends on it. I think it's a tier above like the normal HBO Now. You get like HBO Now and you get like the newest releases of stuff, I guess.
So you're gonna have to pay more for it.
It's $11 a month.
But I pay $15 a month for HBO Now.
Oh, it's $11 if you do it right, like within this month, and then you get it for an entire year at $11, and then after the year, it's $14.99.
But it's different than Now.
I can't verify because I don't really the Now Go Max differences. I'm like,
well, the difference between like Go and Now is like, I forget which one is which. I think Go is the one that's included with your like TV subscription. So like if you get a TV subscription that supports HBO, they give you HBO Go.
I think this is just a rebranding of Now. It sounds so weird talking about HBO's platforms. Now Go Max, but it's I think it's replacing Now, and you sign up for this subscription. It takes place over Now, and then
well, if it replaces Now, I'm all good for it. Like I'll just continue paying for it, and then when it comes out, I'll watch it. But like if it's like, hey, here's a new tier, probably not.
Yeah, fair. But I'm excited. I mean, and
I'm excited because by the time it comes out, you're gonna probably be living in Chicago with me, and then like you can just like,
it's coming out in June.
I thought it said 2021.
Hold on.
That was my next question. Why the hell did they wait so long? Oh, he's upset. Look at that aggressive typing over there.
Hold on.
What is it? I didn't realize.
Oh,
that's the first thing I saw since 2021. I'm like, why are they waiting so long? If it's coming to digital, why not announce it now? Or like release it now, I mean.
I think it's because they have to put some money into it to like finish it out.
Oh, so it's not like complete?
I don't think so. I keep seeing a $20 million tag budgeted to it.
Oh, okay. So like, yeah, it's not ready yet. Okay. I thought the Snyder Cut, when they kept saying release a Snyder Cut, like it was a full complete project that just like they didn't want to get released. I'm sorry I had to like break it to you, but I mean,
Oh
you
no,
got
I
you
was
got
so
over a year
excited.
now.
I was so excited. See, I got so caught up in it, and like the progress from when it started till now, that wasn't focused on like when the release of it. I knew that HBO Max was coming out this year.
Yeah.
Either way, still exciting, still very exciting, and
Well, now let me just keep saying I'm excited to watch it with you because you're gonna just be sitting there like like freaking out the entire time
we're
because
gonna have
when
to
you
rewatch all the DC stuff.
uh,
And I just actually started watching the DC streaming service.
are they better
Good
than
content on that.
Aquaman was though? Because like that
Okay,
movie
Aquaman, I can't vouch for.
was
I
like
can't even justify the Aquaman movie.
but Keegan, why did we choose to watch that movie over like any other DC movie? Like you couldn't have known how bad it was.
Because I hadn't seen it yet.
I know, but like that was my first DC movie I had seen in a while since like the Dark Knight trilogy, and it was just like not a step in the right direction. So I was just kind of
Yeah,
like,
Wonder Woman's good. I personally like Batman versus Superman. I know that has a lot of controversy.
does that one have a Snyder cut that people have been begging to release?
No, but it. I mean, it has a director's cut. Warner Bros. Did cut a lot of it. That's the problem. Is each movie, there's been a lot of complaints with how Warner Brothers edits and posts like the final copy.
Like the original Suicide Squad? Well,
Yeah, that one.
has there been a Suicide Squad movie before the one that came out a few years ago?
No, but
Okay, so me
making
saying
they're
original
remaking it with
is
James Gunn.
okay. Because yeah, like they're gonna make a new one. That's why I said original. But
The Birds of Prey wasn't terrible. That came out recently. The thing is in my opinion, the DC movies has a lot of character. Like you can't deny that they are aggressively taking a lot of risks. That each movie, you know, even though some of them are garbage, they are sticking to a narrative and a theme and like a uh, a motif of the film and sticking to it. Birds of Prey was supposed to be kind of this goofy Harley Quinn, you know, kind of R-rated DC movie, and it was. It was exactly that. And I can go on a whole tangent about that, but I want to stick to the kind of the Snyder questions of it. But I mean, I want to rewatch everything now. Like that's where I'm at.
yeah, and I mean I can't vouch for like the theme thing because like I haven't seen those movies, but like I remember watching like this little video on Instagram of somebody making that comparison to a DC or to a Marvel movie, and they said it was like Marvel was like really cookie cutter, like you know what you're getting when you're going into it, and I was like, yeah, to be fair, like pretty much all their movies are formatted the same, maybe with like the exception of stuff like Infinity War and Endgame, just because like that's like the culmination of everything, but like all of the sum of their parts, like every part is pretty much the same. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like they're quality movies,
consistent.
but like if you're looking for some like, revolutionary thing going in from like, all right, let's say you saw Iron Man 1 and then you went to go see Iron Man 2, like you know what you're getting into. And even if it's like, okay, you went to go see like Iron Man and then you went to go see Captain Marvel, it's like there's a ton of similarities. So, either way,
Yeah, and
like teach their own.
honestly, 2021 is shaping up to be a ridiculous year movie content for me to take in. I mean, we'll get Batman's solo movie, which I'm actually really excited for, and
When is
all. I
that
mean,
got rescheduled for?
October 2021 or November 2021, I think,
Okay,
or is it
okay.
2020? No, no, production got delayed to 2021. Anyways,
That would be
but
unfortunate if that was another like, oh, it's coming out in 2020, and then I had to break it to you. Nah, it's like 2021, Keegan. A whole year after you thought
2020 just is ruined. So
it's over, canceled.
yeah, canceled. But I mean, it's really interesting this whole Justice League Snyder cut. How it's literally lasted the two years since it came out. It came out in 2018, and it's just we've been persistent. The whole community has just been like release it nonstop.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of forgot that, like, when you told me, or when you sent me the post, I saw Snyder Cut in the like the preview, and like my mind just kind of like thought, oh, Suicide Squad, like just a question. But then like when I saw Justice League, I was like, oh yeah, like I forgot. Because like it was 2016 or 2018 that it came out.
2018, I think,
Okay.
came out.
Either way, I was just kind of like, oh yeah, all right, cool.
Yeah. And the whole controversy around it was that Zack Snyder had to leave production like halfway through. I believe his daughter died or a family member died.
Oh jeez.
And there was rumors that he got fired, but like I think it was just a family emergency, and he left the wheel to Joss Whedon,
Okay.
which he was huge in Marvel movies, and there was a lot of controversy over how he took it. He says he stuck with his vision, but there's just a lot of mishaps from what was said was going to happen in the movie and what actually was delivered. So
Okay.
there's going to be a lot of unanswered questions about to be answered. And I'm really excited because like Zack Snyder's like in vision, and you haven't seen Justice League, right?
No.
Well, there's like this Greek villain that is in the comics, Steppenwolf, who was introduced, and we're all like supposed to be Darkseid, or at least that was what his vision of it was supposed to be. So I'm curious to see what happens. And also, Green Lantern was
And
supposed to make
Darkseid
appearance.
a villain.
Yeah, he's like, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
He's.
bro, you're talking to a dude
I
that
know.
doesn't
I'm
know too
realizing.
much. Like,
Yeah,
only reason why I know stuff about Marvel now is because of the movies. Like, I never
yeah,
really read comics growing up, and still
yeah.
don't. But
Darkseid's like one of the most infamous and most powerful villains in the DC universe.
I like almost lit a fire, dude. I was like, who? And then I saw you over there. You're like, yeah.
It's just Superman's arch. Well, besides Lex Luthor, but either way.
Well, you know what I've been getting upset about? The fact that Switch doesn't have anything coming out for it right now.
That's yeah. My Switch is collecting dust right now.
I mean,
This
I
thing hasn't been played. DC, like DC fanboy right
oh
here.
yeah, you got the sticker on the Switch and everything. Why did you put it off to the side like that? Why wouldn't you just like center it?
Because the clip thing.
But like,
I don't know.
it's still in a very strange spot.
Either way, it's collecting dust over here.
Yeah, because like I was looking at the Switch store, and like they keep telling me like, oh, deals on games, like deals every week, and then I go and it's just like garbage. Like I've pretty much either played or own most of like the big Switch games, and like I was just like, okay, what's coming up? And they don't really have much. Like they quietly announced the new Paper Mario game coming out in, is it July, I think?
July.
And I mean, I'm like, okay, that's cool, but like, I mean, again, it's just like another Mario game. I think I might get this one because like I like the whole paper of like what they do with the animations and stuff, but
Yeah.
it's nothing to like get hyped for. Like Switch is missing a game to get hyped for. It's just a lot of ports right now, and like tons and tons of anime style video games.
Well, that and like it's just like and Breath of the Wild 2 is eventually sometime
And
next
that's
year,
nowhere
2022.
that they haven't even given a window for that. It's all speculation. So
There's nothing I'm like hyped for Switch. Like, and there's nothing on my Switch right now that I like besides Fire Emblem that I would want to like return to. Like
and
Animal Crossing is such a oof of this year of like why did I purchase that? Like it is so stupid.
I mean, I can't tell you if you were giving in to my peer pressure, because I felt like even if I didn't say anything, you would have bought it. But like I could have told you that you would just like play it for like 30 hours and then just dump it.
I mean, I'm not
Did you
like
play it for 30 hours? Like how many hours did you get out of it?
I don't even. We'll find out live.
All right. Well,
what's your bet? What's your bet?
I think.
What's your bet?
Well, Switch tells you over in like increments of 5, so it's probably like it's gonna say 15 or more.
Where do I even find this?
It's
at?
in your social. Like click your little name where it goes like woo woo.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, like I'm kind of done with it right now, but I put in 100 hours into it. So like I think I'm in a safe spot to be like I'm done for a while. I'll
You
come back.
ready?
Yeah, tell me.
10 hours.
It says 10 or more.
Yeah.
Keegan. Well, that's a big oof.
It's a big oof.
I mean, I'm telling you, like, you could just like pick it back up someday, and then like you could get into it. Like, I can understand that like you might just be like, oh, there's other games I want to play, especially now that you got a PC. Like that's and Doom, if Doom would work for
Yeah.
you. Like, I don't know what's
Oh,
wrong with your Doom, but like he's told me that it keeps breaking on him. Like he couldn't even like get into the game, like the mouse wasn't working, and then it just like quit, and then now it's uninstalled, right?
dude, is there anything worse than when you finally decide on a game to play? Because like the juggle,
Yeah,
the
the
like
juggle.
looking at the Steam backlog, looking at the store for way too long, where you're borderline buying a new game out of your wish list, and then you look at League, you look at all these different games, and you're like, what should I play? And you know the answer because you've been playing it all week. You've been playing, for my case, Doom. I finally boot up Doom. Like I'm like, all right, I'm gonna stick to the plan. 3 days in a row. I'm gonna stick to it. I boot up Doom. Can't move my mouse. Not only can I not move my mouse, I can't Alt Tab out of Doom
I
to like
did
shut
have
down,
that issue.
to like to close it, to do anything.
Yeah.
And so I'm rebooting my PC. I tried it 3 times. I'm like, well, guess I'm playing Warzone again. So then I play Warzone. Next day I come into Doom, and it's like install Doom. I'm like, the fuck you mean? I I put in hours. I played this game, didn't uninstall it. Then I got worried that like my hard drive got disconnected or something.
Yeah.
And no, everything's there.
Were the files for Doom still there?
No, the entire folder was gone.
That is strange.
So unless some, ghost came in, logged in, knew my login, um, logged in and deleted it, I don't know.
I don't know, man. That's unfortunate.
And then I'm like, you know what? Fine. I have friends online. I'll play Warzone because I don't want to download 30 gigabytes or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Boot up Warzone, and guess what's waiting for me?
A 30 gig update.
A 30 gigabyte update.
What else is new, man? That game every time has such large updates.
The technology sucks. That's the leak's message. Technology sucks.
Yeah, we're too far deep to get out now, though.
What is in a 30 gigabyte update that you need to push? And this is like the third time.
I don't think they optimize things very well or something. Like, I don't have an explanation for it.
Who is on their team over there? It's like, ship it,
But...
ship it. Nobody's like, hey, I think our fans are gonna get a little pissed off if they have to do another 20 gig update.
Yeah, I mean, like, it takes up so much space on consoles that, like, people have to delete so many games to get it to go, and you have to do the juggle every time an update happens. So
I'm worried for when they add like a new map. What's gonna happen then? That's gonna be a massive update.
yeah, but like I'd hope at that point it would replace, what it is now. Because if they're getting rid of the old, they would wipe out a lot of those assets. Although actually maybe not, because those assets are used by maps in multiplayer. But I think when you don't own the main game and you just download Warzone, they give you just the assets for the Warzone map, because like my update to get Warzone was like 20-30 gigs because I already installed 150 of it. So
I don't know. It was just ridiculous. It was such a weird night, and I was just like, all right, I guess this is what I'm doing right now.
So you think they're gonna port Warzone to the Switch? Because that's Nintendo's game plan right now. Just get everything on the Switch.
That'd be so disgusting if they ported Warzone.
It wouldn't be great.
Switch.
But I do have an update though, because you mentioned Fire Emblem. I did start playing that, like I said I was going to, and I do miss it actually. I had a little bit of the whole like RPG forgetfulness, like, yo, where was I? What was I doing? But I'm in the second.
Just like restart.
I don't ever do that.
Oh,
though.
I do that all the
I've
time.
done it, I shouldn't say ever. I've done it in story focused games that like
Yeah,
aren't
yeah.
RPGs. But like if it's an RPG, it's like no, I'm just gonna tough it out. Like I don't want to go through all those hours. So I think I'm like almost 40 hours in, and I've just gotten to the second chapter, like after a big twist happens. So I'm like, okay, like I'm kind of back. I'm invested. So that's what I'm playing on my Switch now. But like I was kind of hoping for something fun to get excited for, other than like again another port. Borderlands. Did I said the trilogy that was coming? I was like, oh, I'm tempted to. That comes out next Friday. But like the stay
Don't
at
do
home
it.
order still isn't lifted, and I'm not gonna be going to work for the rest of the week, or the year. So it's like I'm not buying it. And then how about you? You said, oh, I want XCOM 2. That comes out on the same day as well. You getting that?
Dude, I don't really miss playing on my Switch just because of like, where else am I gonna need to play? Like, I'm just on my PC. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Like, I'm excited for the summer because I'm starting to see gameplay reveals and we're seeing some like conferences get put up. But I swear, if this summer is just a summer of remasters, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be throwing some hands.
It's not gonna be. Like they're
I
they're
know.
filling the time with it. Like there's no way that this fall is or this summer is just announcing fall remasters. Like as much as we have a few, like you just saw the Mafia trilogy.
Trilogy
Like
Definitive Edition. I'm
I
like,
don't
come on
I don't
now.
know why they announced this. I don't know why they they're putting this in, but uh they I guess Mafia 1 is from 2003.
Yeah, it's not like Mafia was like this crazy huge series that everyone was like super obsessed with. Like, I feel like not that many people were like huge followers of it. Like Mafia 3 came out and people were like, "Oh, this kind of looks like a playable game." And it like resurfaced.
Yeah, cuz like their way that they're shipping it is a little bit strange too. Like it's like the original game is being completely redone. So like that's not ready yet. But then
Yeah.
Mafia 2 just got like a
Enhancement.
remaster, so then like that's ready now. And it's like, okay, well, like what if you never played them all before, like you're
Yeah,
gonna
you
want to
want to play them
play.
in a row.
I don't know, just a strange
Uh,
strange
yeah.
marketing strategy. So
I'm tired of it. Give me some new content. Um
just be
yeah,
patient, bro.
and it's funny because I complained about that last week, and like now we're just seeing more and more, and we're also seeing the Serious Sam coming back for Serious Sam 4, and I'm like, what game? And it's like, who who
Who?
played this? And it just looks like a spin-off Doom.
I've
So
never
I don't
played Serious Sam, so I don't have
know, neither do
any. But it's
I.
all
But
over Steam. You go in there and they're like, oh yeah, hey. Buy it.
I got GTA 5 on PC for free on Epic's Games, so tempting to not play that.
I mean, like if you want to play the story, like that's all it's really good for right now. Because playing the multiplayer, you're just gonna run into the stupid green versus purple alien war. Have you heard of that?
Dude, honestly, people still playing GTA 5 baffles me. So
Well, let
when
me
I
explain why. People
okay,
like that game so much. It is the most successful form of media, including movies, music, television, all forms of media. People pour money into it, right? They keep updating it. Like they keep updating with new content. It might not be like great content, but like they're constantly getting new stuff, and it's like mainly free. Like you can just like, keep grinding to get the stuff, and people do their stupid cheats and stuff anyway. But like the reason why it took off recently was because somebody created a custom server called No Pixel, and they made specific rules for it that it was like only role play. Like you literally could not, like if you broke character, they booted you. So like you had to make a character, talk like a certain thing, and never break it. Like obviously if you broke character, like you, it's not like instant, but like I don't know who's moderating it, but like all of these streamers took off with it. And then like I watched this guy Soda Poppin', and he was like, Kevin
sorry.
Yeah, I mean, he's a big streamer, so if you don't know who he is, you're kind of under a rock. Anyway,
I don't watch
I
Twitch that
know
much.
you much Twitch, but either way, gamers usually know who he is. He does a bunch of variety stuff in World of Warcraft. So like, I'm surprised you haven't heard of him, considering your whole like. I always perpetually want to go back to play World of Warcraft.
I mean, I have like a set like 6 streamers up. Either way, keep going.
He had this dude that was like Kevin like Whittleby or something, and he was like really timid, but while everybody else is doing like goony thug shit, like he's just like, I'm an honest business person, like I get my money through this winery, like, and it was just like stupid but so funny. Like if you would watch some of these no pixel things, they had people creasing in tears, like it's really funny. But that kind of died down, so then people were like, all right, we need to start some sort of new like theme or like event. So then somebody, like, I don't know who, started dressing in an all green skin tight suit and put like alien eyes on the thing, and then just started running around just like beating people up. And then like a bunch of people started doing it and then just like antagonizing the crowd. So you couldn't enter GTA Online without seeing people in yellow or green suits running around terrorizing people. But their one caveat was no guns. So like it was like, you know how you normally have grievers? It was grievers with a twist. Everybody was coordinating and only using like bats, knives, and other stuff. So then somebody was like, all right, this is getting annoying. We need to combat it. So they started dressing in purple and beating them back. So then now there's this whole gang war going on in GTA Online, and you can't enter the game without getting caught in the crossfire.
I genuinely think sociologists probably study this. There's probably somebody at like Harvard who is getting their doctorate and is like, this is their thesis, is GTA 5 society online gameplay. Because here's the thing, it's like I played GTA 5. I played the story, and that was freshman year of college. And this game is still around and is still getting updated. It baffles me how it's still getting money. And when's GTA 6 gonna come out? Then when that
They're
happens,
working on it.
The world's gonna blow up.
It's gonna be a next gen console game for sure, but like I wouldn't doubt it comes out in like 2021 or 2022. But like yeah, like when that game comes out, it's gonna go crazy. But like it's also gonna be very difficult for them to follow in the shadow of GTA 5. Like I will be very surprised if it surpasses it as the most successful form of media. So like I don't know. It should be interesting though. I'm kind of interested to see what city they choose, because
Yeah,
GTA, like I don't know about GTA 3, but GTA 4 was like New York City style, and then like
GTA 5 is like LA.
LA, yeah, and then this one is rumored to be Miami again, and like
Miami
Vice City
Vice.
was kind of like a cult hit. Like people don't like that one as much, but it's still kind of cool. So like they might
What
go
if
for
they
that like
just
80s vibe again.
what if they just do Des Moines, Iowa, and like you can't drive anywhere, and you just get you just get stuck in ditches
Oh
constantly.
my goodness. No, no. Like if they do some boring thing like that, like it would be pretty funny,
just
but like
just flat corn, and like every other hour is just a snowstorm, so you can't get to like point A to point B.
they definitely should do that as a troll. Like
That would be
announce the
hysterical.
location and it's just like yeah, Des Moines, Iowa. Like or some place in like I don't know,
Omaha.
like Maine.
That'd be kind of cool.
What is Maine? Like I've never been to Maine, but like I hear it's
We just
really
lost
pretty, but like
all
you're gonna go
all viewers in
ter
Maine,
bro,
Iowa,
nobody's listening from Maine yet.
Maryland.
I don't know,
Uh,
but that should be a fun one. And next gen stuff, like they're kind of slowly announcing things, and I can't wait for the summer to like start revealing those because it can't all be remasters. As
yeah,
much
because like,
as
what am I gonna get excited about? Crucible? Am I
dude,
gonna get excited about that
it's
game?
getting roasted and toasted on Steam right now. The reviews are too funny.
And if you don't know, Crucible is a game that Amazon produced. And right now, I went on Steam just to look at it, and it's just this is the first time I've ever seen very negative as the consensus. And reading some of the comments on it has been very enjoyable. But I don't know. I guess it's free to play, so maybe it's still early access and it'll get updated. But there's just nothing to get hyped about yet, besides just like future releases that I already knew about, like Crusader Kings, Cyberpunk, all those Baldur's Gate 3. Like that's where my hype train is right now. Nothing's really gonna
All right,
steer me
well,
off.
ride that hype for a little bit, and then June will give you a little taste,
Yeah,
and
just a little
then
taste,
you'll be
a little
happy.
sample,
Um,
a little appetizer.
I got two little interesting pieces of news. One of them is a Keegan leak, so you're gonna get whatever. I didn't even click into the article; it wasn't worth it. But it was just like iPhone 12 logic board leaked, and
I
it's just
saw
like
this
a
one.
piece of the logic board, like looking like a strip, and I'm just like, why? What
I
purpose does that serve?
I saw that link, and it's literally a paragraph. It's on the article. There's literally the photo and a paragraph, and it was like iPhone 12 logic board. What can it tell us? And it's like nothing. It looks sleek.
It goes nothing. Oh man.
Paraphrasing, but that's basically what the article said. It was like the new logic board. It looks a little bit more compressed than the last logic board. I'm like, cool. What the? Why is this right now?
So then the other piece of news is just kind of like comical. This is clearly like Sony trying to sell their last little bit of inventory for PS4.
I love
They
Sony. It is.
this is real. This isn't a leak. Like they actually showed it, but Sony is releasing a Last of Us 2 special edition to like coincide with the game coming out. But like, bro, this it doesn't look like they put a lot of effort into making this. This literally looks like they engraved something onto their remaining.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, I'm about to pull it up, but like, it's like kind of funny that they. I don't know. Like I saw this and I'm like, Sony, this is just an attempt to sell you the rest of your stuff, which is like kind of smart considering
Which I
like sales
get.
are
I
dying.
get.
But like it should have had like a different color. It's literally just black with just like a small, well actually not small, it's like the whole top, but it isn't like engraved on it. It's not great.
It's just. It's kind of a little last minute to have a console special edition.
I mean like the only way they would do it was because of the sales, like the remaining
Yeah,
stuff.
and I bet Xbox is gonna do that with Cyberpunk, so I can't really talk shit about that
But
yet.
like
But
their Cyberpunk thing looked better.
yeah, it does.
Like it had some like
Can we agree that
theme.
usually Xbox's like special editions looks usually better than Sony's?
I guess I don't really pay attention to them enough to really like.
I'm gonna take that as a W, guys. Victory, Xbox won. Boom.
No,
Take
I
that
mean
dub.
I can't because like I don't pay attention to them.
That's
I don't
victory.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a victory. Boom. He admitted
Have
it.
you ever bought one?
Recorded.
Have you ever bought one? So what does it matter to you if you're not out there buying the special editions?
I'll say the only one that I came close to buying was the Halo 3 Xbox 360 Special Edition. That was the only one I was like almost gonna get. Other than that, no. I was always broke and could never barely afford the console itself. So
All right, well let's take a look at this weirdness here, cause I don't know. It's a blatant attempt to get those sales.
yeah. Gotta get that money.
Look at this. It's supposed to be Ellie's tattoo, like that.
Which
I
means
haven't even
nothing.
seen it on her yet. To be fair, I don't know where this tattoo is, but it's like
Couldn't it have
just
been like zombie themed? Because isn't Last of Us like zombies?
you would have thought, but like
Like blood splattered and like
I don't know. This game is supposed to
rusted
be like
metal.
elegant and elegant
I was
art style, so they're like tattoo,
actually,
but
I haven't played
also
it.
they would have to invest a lot of money into like painting and doing all the extra stuff
Oh,
probably.
like to get the details that a special edition should have.
Yeah, so I'm literally roasting them right now for doing this
Okay.
like half-assed attempt because it's clear, but I don't know.
They've been tweaking with consoles lately. They just need to They need to get on their shit with their next console. I mean, I guess they're releasing like their games coming out for it, right? They're releasing like the PS5, like what do you
Well,
call it?
they haven't really announced too many
Catalog.
games. Like a lot of games
No, they
that
said
they're
that
talking
in
about.
June.
Hmm?
I thought they said in June they're gonna release their catalog or like their.
I haven't heard anything concrete. I just know that they're rumored to talk about the console in early June. But like they're showing a lot of games for PS4 still, because like Ghost of Tsushima came out, and oh yeah, I wanted to show some gameplay on that. That's right. Ghost of Tsushima is honestly like way better looking than I thought.
And I attempted to buy a PS4, like just to play it.
Yeah. So yeah, they're doing some clever stuff here, like with the open world aspects. Like
Yeah,
I've never seen a game like guide you the way they do. Usually you got like, you hit your map and then just an arrow shows up, or like some sort of like line on the mini map. But like they're making you get guided by like the wind. Like you can see,
animals.
yeah, the wind will like blow you towards where you need to go, and then like different animals lead you to different parts of the map. So if you're just like riding your horse or like walking around and a fox shows up, like he'll take you to some sort of like map item, and then like the birds take you to a different type, and it's kind of like I think that's clever.
I'm purely excited because it looks like they really captured the culture,
Mm-hmm.
and I might be scouring, Facebook Marketplace, see if I can't get a cheap PS4. See if your boy can play this. And
See, that's what I like to hear.
if I made an oof purchase of doing Animal Crossing, this is just like a double oof. You know what I mean?
If you could find one for like, under 150, it wouldn't be a bad investment, because then you could play this, Last of Us, and a couple of other
Yeah,
PS4
yeah.
things that you haven't
I
touched.
feel like Last of Us, I might just let that train just.
No, you can't. If you get a PS4, you are actually legally obligated to play by me.
Okay. I'd rather play Ratchet
Absolutely,
and Clank.
but absolutely no way I'm gonna like let you buy that console and not play that game.
Also, I'd want to play the show. I want
That
to
game's
play.
garbage. Don't play it. Like I haven't heard a PlayStation owner that I know. There's
Whoa.
probably gonna be some people that
Wow.
that are like, yeah, it's worth buying the console for. Like it's just a
There's like
baseball
some
game, dude.
diehard fans of that game, though. Like, okay. All right. All right. All right.
Either way, this Ghost of Tsushima looks like and it's got a lot of similarities to Assassin's Creed, and it kind of looks like what Assassin's Creed Japan would be if you
Or
like
the
if you
game
were to,
as a whole.
yeah.
But yeah.
But it's like it's got new elements where like you can inspire fear into your enemies depending on like how well you're playing. So like if you're just like slicing and dicing, right, like other enemies are gonna like trip and like I don't even know what the word, like, crab walk away from you. Like
Some games try to do fear tactics like that, like Batman, and like where if they're at an elevated heart rate, they act more erratic or whatever.
mhm.
But like this game, like the gameplay they showed, like a dude like straight up like surrendered, was like shut down, like yo, like
Yeah, he was like just this is the end.
yeah,
And then like you might just saw there like they don't have long animations on like capturing things. So like if you play like the original Red Dead, I haven't played the second one, so I don't know if they still do this, but like just skinning an animal took like 15 freaking seconds. Like nobody needs to see that. So like you can like grab stuff while on the horseback, and it's just like in your inventory. Like it's really gamer friendly in that way. So I think
or
that's
on
cool.
your horse, just like grab a tree, grab some bamboo.
Yeah. And then another thing they say later in it is that like this isn't an RPG, I'm pretty sure, or like hardcore RPG, but they were like your actual um like clothing and armor like is situational. So like don't just wear it because it looks cool, because it helps you fight in a different style. So like there's a part in the trailer where like he's fighting a guy in like I don't know what the stance was called, but he switches to water stance. So now he's holding the sword like above his head. And that's like more effective against different enemy types. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of a cool spin on it. Like you don't just change your weapon, like you actually fight differently. and have
You
different
can't just
moves.
rely on like one, like works.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. Like I'm really excited to see what this game holds, and it's a late exclusive on the PS4 cycle, but they might do some things about transferring it over. I don't know, but
I think
Sony
they got
hasn't
it.
said anything. They
They got
really should, especially with two big games, uh, Last of Us 2 and this coming out. It has to.
I mean, in my mind, they'd be dumb to like PS5 rolls out and they're like, yeah, we could wait on those two. Like, we don't need to make those compatible yet. Like, we can work on different ones. Those two are like, okay, people just want this game. Like, let's convert it over. But I
Yeah.
keep forgetting. Like, I was thinking like when I was like, oh, there's not a lot of games on PS5 or Xbox One X, Series X that announced yet, and then I remembered like when Xbox One happened, there was like straight up like 4 months where there were just no games on Xbox One yet,
Yeah, it was
and
kind of
like
like
I
that on
completely
PS4.
forgot about it. Yeah, and
So,
like I think we had like an NBA game and like Titanfall, which I hated, like on release, and so I got to remember like there's gonna take some time, it's for them to build that stack out.
but I don't think that is going to be the case here because, especially with Xbox's Smart Buy, games are going to be ready to be played right away, and they're going to
Right.
be upgraded. It's not just going to be like, oh, you're just playing it at the same settings. Like they're going to look better. So then, like with Sony, I'm hoping they do the same thing. But yeah, like they haven't announced much yet. But
Do you think 360 to one and then PS3 to PS4 was a bigger leap than what we're about to do for PS5
yeah,
and
100%, 100%. Like I was reading an article where they were saying like we're at the point where like we can't sell games with or game consoles with just gameplay. You have to see like slowed down like side by side differences to notice what the benefits are. You can't just like, okay, let's look at the PlayStation 1, right? And then just like, hey, here's what the PlayStation 2 is going to look like. Everybody just shits their pants and pulls out their wallets. Like you can't do that anymore. So like we're getting diminishing returns. But I mean, being a hardcore gamer, I don't really need to see that slowed down stuff. Like I can kind of tell like, okay, the frame rate looks pretty nice for like draw distance and stuff because I'm looking for that. And like Sony's trying to do stuff with their SSD where like load times are like non-existent, and Microsoft's trying to do stuff with their GPU to just make things render faster and like look better. So it's like, to us, we might notice like, and it's going to be kind of a big jump, but like to the average consumer, like no. PS3
yeah.
to PS4 and Xbox 360 to Xbox One were like pretty huge jumps, but the biggest ones came from like the 1 to the 2 and the 2 to the 3, and in the Xbox generation the equivalent. So it should be interesting to see how sales are in the beginning, just because I don't think people are gonna like jump on it as quick, just for like the casual gamer. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not.
You're
It's
gonna
gonna
wait a
take
little bit.
just because like I mean, when's the last time I played on my Xbox? It's been a real hot minute.
Yeah, I mean, considering like Sony is trying to say that they have like, big exclusives coming out, like, and I'm also just kind of like I need it now person. Like I'm gonna get it just because like why not? I think that things are gonna come out for it before the first price cut that are worth having, so might as well. So I'm just gonna get it.
And you know what? I think I said the same thing about the Xbox One, and I bought that one day one. So I mean,
It might happen. Like it depends on like this summer. At the end of this summer, you will decide because you don't know what games are coming out and you don't know what their plan is. I'm telling you, at the end of this summer, what you have told us now is going to be completely different. Maybe not in the sense of what you're going to buy with the console, but definitely with the games you intend to buy, and just like your general game plan is not going to be the same come August, end of August.
yeah, you're right.
So just be ready. Just be ready.
Oh man.
But little side note before we end it, did you see that CD Projekt Red is now the most valuable gaming company in Europe over Ubisoft? And Ubisoft is like huge.
Huge. But CD Projekt Red over Ubisoft, where CD Projekt Red, as much as they have good games, it's Witcher, and that's it until Cyberpunk comes out.
Yeah, I mean, I guess everybody likes that one game series.
Ubisoft, which they have Rainbow Six Siege, Anno, like a whole launcher full of a library to choose from. Ghost Recon, and
I
they're
guess though, like you're listing off a lot of games, but like lots of them are just like mediocre.
no, don't get me wrong. Ubisoft doesn't have. I mean, Rainbow Six Siege was like their last good game.
Yeah, and I like that game too, but like we were pumped about the Division for a bit, and then like
Oh,
that
I
didn't.
forgot about the Division.
Yeah, like they have like bigger games, but they're just like not great. So like I guess just being a smaller company that really well is or supports a game really well, uh, like that's the way to do it.
We have to factor in hype as well, because the way that they're getting valued, there has to be some sort of prediction into Cyberpunk's years of hype.
Yeah, for 100%.
So
I mean, we can't wait for that game. So like, I don't know,
who
like
knows?
they've put themselves in a position where like they can announce a game and people trust them. They don't say like don't screw it up. They're just like we understand, take your time, do it right.
That's true. I mean, it's been years, and everyone's just like, whatever little bit they give, they're like, that's plenty. Like, never in gaming culture has our community not been this toxic.
Yeah. And like when they delayed the game to the fall, like people were upset a little bit, but like I genuinely didn't see like a huge backlash because they gave such a detailed explanation on why.
Why?
They were like we do not have enough time to QA the game. We want to make this game as like high standards as we're used to. It needs to happen that way. And like people were like, okay, I'm upset, but like, hey, like do what you gotta do.
And then Square Enix was like, "Yo, Avengers is delayed," and everyone's like, "What?"
Yeah, and like The Last of Us, because like although the way they did that was so weird. They were like, we're delaying
Definitely.
it indefinitely, but it was just a month. Like you don't play with people's emotions like that, man.
I'm telling you, these people and PR for these companies, you need to hone in your message, because us gamers, we dissect every word, and when you
Yeah.
say definitely, it scares the shit out of us.
Yeah, and you become memes like you're breathtaking. And on that note, we're gonna end the stream here. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to hit us up on Instagram, Facebook. Well, actually, hold on. Don't have to say that no more. Hit us up on darkmodepodcast.com. .com.
Well, yeah, you get access to all of our platforms, all of our social medias there. Hit us up any which way you can. You can email us at darkmodepodcast@gmail.com. We want your feedback. We want your guys' suggestions. Like, comment, subscribe. You know the narrative. I mean, that like, are you guys sick of people saying that like on the end of their
Probably.
videos?
Probably, but like
Do your
it's
thing,
kind of like a
guys.
gentle reminder. So you got to be a little bit smooth with it. You don't want to just be like, all right, like make sure to hit that button like every 2 seconds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Please, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell.
But don't forget about the free games too. Like there's also
Yeah,
stuff in it for you. Like help us out, we help you out. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Keegan. All right, guys, we'll catch you in the next one.
See you guys.